Alrighty. Here we go with another Ray's Reality. I am your host, Ray Jones, and I'm here today again to bring you another Ray's Reality. And I'm here doing it all by myself in a different studio. Would you call this a studio? No, I would not call this a studio. I'd call it a place. You'd be amazed on where I record my shows. I could be in the back of a van right now. Might as well be in the back of a van. It'd probably be much better. Sound proofing would probably be much better as well. It'd be much cooler as well. It'd be really neat. It'd be fun and all that good stuff. Got all kinds of stuff on my mind. It's been a little while since I've been able to do a podcast. Unfortunately, I'd like and I want so much to be able to do at least one a week, if not 2 or 3 a week. I'd like to do one every day, 5 days a week. If I could do one every single day, I would do that. If it was 10 minutes or an hour, it wouldn't matter to me as long as I could do it, because I'd have fun doing it. I really enjoy doing this. So the big thing is with everything is just getting out there and doing stuff, reaching out and doing things and having fun with it. And I am here. I'm not really sure I got so much on my mind to talk about. I just spent 8 weeks in Texas. It was very hard to do any podcasts there. Was doing a million other things. I would like to focus more on podcasts than anything else. That's what I want to do, just do podcasts all the time. But I'm not doing that. So I was, like I said, sometimes I like to start with news. What is news? I hate the news. The news is so stupid. It's ignorant. It's dumb. Yeah, this guy, I'm coming after you there. Anyways, amazing on so many different levels, on so many different things. The news. Today, earlier, I seen where we're here in Florida. And down here in Florida, we have all kinds of weird stuff. We have, and everybody makes a big deal about it. They make it sound like, oh my gosh, you have sharks? Seriously? You got sharks in the ocean? Really? Yeah, and there's whales. Really? I had to argue with a stupid guy. We have, and I said this on another podcast, but I'm going to say it again. We now have confirmed 25 species of whale in the Gulf of Mexico. Just in the Gulf of Mexico. 25 species. Yeah. Every year they wash up on shore, and every year oh my gosh, a whale, it washed up on shore. They're in the oceans, people. That is where whales live, in the salt water, in the ocean. And there's sharks there. There's sharks all over the world in the salt water. Seriously? Yeah, no kidding. So we're here in Florida where they have alligators. No way. Not alligators. Really? Yeah, we have alligators. Big news. Wow. So, and mosquitoes. Oh my gosh, really? Are you serious right now? You have mosquitoes? Yeah, they're all over the country. And we have them here in Florida all year round. I don't think they're as bad as other places, because when I was in Texas, they had mosquitoes that would literally carry you away. I thought I saw a small dog, and it was a mosquito. I was like, good Lord, look at that thing. What is that? It's a mosquito. Run for your life. Crazy. Yeah. One thing Texas can brag about having something bigger is their mosquitoes next to their hail. Not much more. Anyways, we have bald eagles too. Really? Huh. Imagine that. We have birds in Florida. big ones too. Lots and lots of big birds, big birds. We have them here, and there's eagles all over the country, different parts now. They're really. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, and seen two bald eagles in Cleveland, Ohio. I've lived there for many years and never once seen a bald eagle until the last trip I took a few months ago to Cleveland. Saw two bald eagles, one on the east side, one on the west side. That was really cool to see those. Anyways, I like seeing them. What I'm getting at is here in Florida, in the state of Florida, all around, mainly from Ocala, north of Ocala, and then Ocala area, and 2 hours south into the Hillsborough County, which is the Tampa Bay area, Orlando, Clearwater, St. Pete, area, Pinellas County, Florida. We have monkeys, wild monkeys. In Ocala National Forest, in Ocala, Florida, there are over 3,500 monkeys living in Ocala Forest area. They're wild monkeys living there, and it's a part of everyday life. So those monkeys that are up there have been trickling out, and now they're making a big deal because, oh my gosh, they're seeing monkeys in Orlando, which I do understand, because it's not, they're all over. So here in Pinellas County, don't tell anybody, because they don't want you to know, or they don't want nobody to know. We're trying to keep it a secret because people get out of hand, and you get all these people that are, oh my gosh, there's a monkey. Anyways, here in Pinellas County, Clearwater, Largo area, Pinellas Park, Seminole, we actually have several monkeys in the area. We see them quite often too, but we don't tell anybody because they'll come out and kill them, shoot them, they'll relocate them. Yeah. Anyways, we don't say nothing. But now somebody has seen a monkey, and now they're freaking out about it, and now they're making a big deal about it in the news again. It's not big news. It's not a big deal. It's something that happens here in Florida. We have wild monkeys in Florida. Yeah, if you'd like to see some, just go to Ocala. Go to the I can't remember the river there. You go in that area. They're all over the place. I've seen hundreds of them. So they're in Ocala area. So it's really cool. So just throwing it out there. Wanted to say, hey, we have monkeys in Florida along with everything else. All kinds of stuff. And I always love the news because I like everybody across the country. They try to make Florida sound like the bad place. Florida's actually, I love Florida. Love living here. It's a great place. I feel safe here. I feel very safe in Florida. You have crime all over the United States of America, everywhere. And looking at people, everybody here is friendly. It's a nice place to live. Which brings me to the fact that all over the news, you gotta love the news. The news people are so, let's take something and just completely blow it out of proportion to make it look horrible. Let's just destroy something. Let's pick on somebody. Let's make Florida sound like the most horrible place on earth. It's not. Top 3 worst places in the United States of America, as you would guess, would be 1, California, New York, and Texas. Those are like the top 5. In the top 5, those 3 are in there. Worst places to be and live. Now the people in Texas are on the outskirts of towns, and the little rural areas are going, well, Texas, we're the biggest, best state in the whole world. we're the biggest and best. No, you're not. Anyways, so not a safe place at all. Last place I'd want to be is, I wouldn't want to live in California, Texas, or New York. Those are the 3 places. I'd live anywhere in the United States except those 3 places. And that's going to bring me here in just a few minutes to the topic of my show here in a few minutes. So we're going to be talking about, meanwhile, getting up to this, building up to these things. We're going to talk about preppers and prepping and where should you be in the event of a nuclear war or a zombie apocalypse. Where do you need to be? Where should you be? What should you do? I'm going to tell you that here in just a few minutes. First, I'm going to get back to the news real quick and then kind of talk about another bad place at the news. I keep seeing it all over online and everything. And they're like, oh, the worst place in the world to be. Where? Yep, you guessed it, the Bahamas. What? The Bahamas? I have a hard time with that because, first off, in the Bahamas, it's an island. It's not a huge island either. Criminals can't go very far. So either the entire island has to be corrupt or they're just not right. So yes, you have crime everywhere you go, but I've never been to the Bahamas, but I can tell you I'm not afraid to go there at all. I'm not concerned to go to the Bahamas at all. I'm not afraid. I'm not fearing anything. I would be happy to go. Matter of fact, we've been talking about going to the Bahamas. But it's not something I'd be afraid of. Okay. It's a small island. And if you get robbed, it's going to take you all of 15 minutes to find the person that robbed you because they don't have anywhere to go. They're on an island. So it kind of makes you, you know what I mean, seriously. You're on an island. Well, that's a pretty big island, right? That's a big island. Whatever, shut up. Anyways, so, with all that stuff, everybody's afraid. Everybody's scared. I know people, I know lots of people in Texas. And it's funny because a friend of mine was recently telling me how he felt safe in Texas. I've been all over the United States and several places around, and been to 6 different countries, and I've been to Mexico. Mexico's a really, really bad place, but it depends where you go. Every place has its good and its bad. Every single state in the United States of America has good and bad. Every single one of them. Everyone. I don't care where you go. You got good people. You got bad people. Everywhere. Everywhere you go in the world, you got good people. You got bad people. Period. So just pretty much if you see 10 people, imagine half of them being bad. Okay? But I'm in a good neighborhood, Ray. Are you? Anyways. I'm going to say this too. I was in the Dominican Republic, and in the Dominican Republic, I felt safer in the bad neighborhoods than I did the good neighborhoods. If you want, I don't even know how you do. I look at things differently. So, in what they call the bad neighborhoods or the bad part of town, everybody's out in the streets, they're playing, they're having fun, they're smiling, they're happy, they're living in shacks that they built out of paper, and everybody's having a good time. The streets are everybody's doing stuff, and they're all over the place. And then I go to the multi-million-dollar neighborhood where I did not feel safe, because when I got to the multi-million-dollar neighborhood, I am looking at a multi-million-dollar house that is surrounded by an 8 to 10 foot fence with barbed wire and bars on the windows. That's not what I call safe. If I have to have 8 to 10 foot fence with barbed wire and I have to have bars on my windows and alarm systems, that's not a safe place to be. That's not a safe place. So just because it's multi-million-dollar homes, I'm going to go live in the shacks with the other people where I don't have nothing to worry about. So because they're not stealing my stuff, I don't have to have barbed wire or none of that stuff, But then, meanwhile, in the other neighborhood, yeah. So that's the thing that people don't understand. What makes you feel safe? What makes you, you can know people and things, but so, like I said, I'm gonna for example, like I said, I was in Texas, and for 8 weeks I was there, and I was like, Texas is one of the last places I want to be during anything. If it's a zombie apocalypse, which that'll never happen, or a nuclear war. So here's the thing. a lot of these, there's a lot of preppers out there. A lot of preppers. When I was in Texas, seen tons of preppers. Every other house, they're self-sufficient there in Texas. But here's the thing. If we have a nuclear war, California is going to be gone. Texas is going to be gone. New York is going to be gone. Florida, gone. Those 4 states are going to be wiped off the face of the earth. So followed by like Illinois and probably Georgia, these places, but yeah, they're going to be gone. So if there's a nuclear war, first off, the nuclear war, a nuclear war will be World War III. The whole world will be involved with that, because not one person is not going to release their bombs. They're not going to say, oh, let's just sit back and find out what happens. No. When they release the nuclear bombs, everybody in the world's attacking one another. End of story. No more. You better be right with God, because that's who you're gonna be standing in front of him shortly. So you need to know where you're gonna be. That's the most important thing about a nuclear war or death period, is where are you going when you die? Are you going to heaven or hell? And there's a lot more to it than just say, well, I believe in God. Yeah, it's not that simple. So that's your first thing you need to know, is where are you going? Are you going to heaven? Are you going to hell? Where do you want to be going? Get right with God before anything. So in the event of a nuclear war, like I said, California they're going to bomb the crap out of California. They're going to bomb the crap out of Texas, Florida, New York. Those states are going to be gone. Everybody's going to die in those states. Everybody's going to be dead. Those 4 states, there's going to be no survivors. Okay? Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to prevent your death during a nuclear war in those 4 states, period. So, one of the reasons why it doesn't have to do with manufacturing. Slight bit about manufacturing, stuff like that, so that you can say, yeah, those are manufacturing states, but there's not. What are they gonna? They don't care about the oil in Texas. They don't care. No, those places, California, Texas, New York, and Florida, they have the most people in them. That's what they're going to kill the people, because the people have to run those things. It's you and me that are running the factories. It's us we're the ones doing everything. If you can blow up a plant, okay, but the thing is, you'll just go get a job across the street, because that plant's still open. So it's about killing people. It's not about getting rid of this and getting rid of that. It's about killing people. So the places with the most people are going to be done. Chicago, they're going to blow the crap out of Chicago. So that's where you're going to be. So here's what you have to ask yourself during a nuclear war. Do you want to die quickly or slowly? And how slowly do you want to die? That's what you have to ask yourself. I've been hearing people say, well, you got to stay indoors for 7 days. No. If there is a nuclear war, okay, understand there is enough nuclear weapons in this world to destroy the world 7 times over. To destroy this world 7 times. And probably more than likely nowadays, I'd say closer to 20 times over. Because the nuclear warheads and stuff that they have nowadays is much more powerful and much more unbelievably crazy than there used to be back in the 60s and stuff. So the stuff they have now is just unbelievable and much, much more powerful. Today's nuclear bomb is much more powerful. Just that, period. So when the world is destroyed by nuclear weapons, the radiation is that's what's gonna be the number one killer is radiation. Okay, you're gonna have the blast, big mushroom cloud. That's gonna kill a lot of people. That's gonna level cities. That's definitely gonna kill a lot of people, but it's not gonna kill as many people as the radiation. You're not going to get away from the radiation. It's not going to settle in 7 days. In the event of a nuclear war, it's going to take years, 7, 10, 15 years before it's actually might be safe. And they don't really know. But people are throwing out all these numbers. But I can pretty much tell you, back in the 80s, a city had a nuclear reactor that leaked, and they got everybody out of the city. Everybody left that city in the 80s because of a nuclear disaster, nuclear war, or not nuclear war, but nuclear spill, whatever it was. Nobody lives there. Nobody still lives there, and most of the city they're trickling back in, but they still have high concentrations of radiation in that city, in that area. They're still seeing out of the water the water's still polluted with radiation from that leak. So that happened in the 80s. So you're going to tell me after a nuclear war where the entire world is covered in radiation, everything's going to be everybody's going to die. So, are you going to die during the blast? Or is it going to take you weeks, months to die? Because you're going to die, but you're going to die slowly. All your hair is going to fall out. Your skin's going to start peeling off. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be a slow, painful, agony death. Okay? I'd much rather go quickly in the nuclear. Just blow me up. I'll be done. Good to go. See ya. Hello, Jesus. How you doing? Type of deal. So that's kind of how I look at stuff. So you have all these preppers, and I know right now, if you're a prepper, you're like, oh, can't believe it. You're all upset probably because you think that you have a handle on it, and you got all these ignorant things online that you can go on to, and you can buy food, and you can buy this, but that's not good. You can buy all the food, but it has a shelf date. Everything has a shelf date. Everything has a shelf date. And I was looking at some of these big, they send you big totes full of food. Prep this, so you get all this food, and you get this, and you get that. You get all this stuff. What good is that going to do you? Especially if you live in a place like Texas or Florida, California, where you're going to die. That food's not going to do any good unless you decide, we're going to get bombed here in 15 minutes. I'm going to go eat all that food right now. You're going to start shoveling it in your head, so you're going to have a stomach ache and diarrhea before you're going to start having more issues before you actually blow up. So that's basically how you kind of have to look at it. All the prepping in the world, you can dig tunnels, you can have food, but that food's going to have to continuously be refurbished. You're going to have to continuously check that food and keep it and everything. And at the end of the day, you're wasting your time. You can have all the water, I forget what you want to call it, but in Texas, I know a friend of mine, they have, 100,000 gallons worth of water, okay? They have all this stuff, but I in Texas, I spoke to a lot of people, and everybody has water containers, big, huge water containers on their property. They collect rainwater. They have filtration systems. They have all this stuff. It's insane. And I'm thinking, all for what? All for what? Most of them, the thing about it is get right with Jesus, man. Know who God is. Know who He is. Know where you're going if and when something like that happens. Because what good is it? What good is it going to do you? Nothing. It's not going to do you a bit of good. To sit and worry and you're going to spend your life worrying about dying. because that's what you're doing. You're spending all your time worrying about dying and thinking you're going to survive something that you're not going to survive. It's not going to happen. So if you're a prepper, where would, tell you what, the safest place in the United States of America, in the world, if you want to be a safe place in the world, Iceland, Greenland, yeah, they're not. Who wants to bomb? Nobody's there. They're like, whatever. Nobody wants to go to Iceland or Greenland because you're just going to freeze to death there anyways. Those are two of the safest places in the world, is Iceland, Greenland, Switzerland. Those places, those are by far the safest places you can be. Okay. Now, in the United States, where would be the safest place? Montana. Pinellas County, Florida, has 3 times more people than the entire state of Montana. I mean, we're just one little county here in Pinellas County, and Pinellas County consists of like Clearwater, St. Pete area. We're across the bay from Tampa, but just Pinellas County, one little county in Florida, has more people in it, 3 times more people in it, I believe, or I could be wrong, I might be lying, but I know we have more people here than the entire state of Montana. There's nobody in Montana. If you go to Montana, you want to be in northern Montana because you don't want to be in Billings, because Billings is the most populated place in Montana. So that's not a safe place to be. You don't want to be you do not want to be in any major city because you're going to die. So if your plan is to die immediately, then yeah, you want to be in a large city. So any large city, you're definitely going to die quicker. You're not going to have to suffer as much. You might, depends on, if the blast doesn't get you, but it depends on where you're at in the city. But pretty much if you're in a big city or around a city, you're going to die much quicker than somebody that's in northern Montana. I promise. So if you're up in the mountains somewhere away from everybody, you're going to be safer. Away from people, away from the biggest population, away from the states that have a lot of population, like California, Texas, Florida, New York. Those 4 states have more people in it than anywhere else, and those are going to be blown to smithereens. So there you have it. If you want to be if you're worried about, if you're scared to death to die, that's your first problem. Okay? Get right with the Lord Jesus Christ, God. Get right with Him. And then there is no prepping. You prep to go to heaven. That's what you prep for. You don't care about nothing else. There's nothing to worry about because you have God on your side now. And if you have God on your side, you have nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing. So it blows my mind that so many people, I know so many people they're preppers and they're scared to death. They're so scared to die. They're so worried about everything. They don't even have time. So I have a friend, I pray so much for her and her family because they spend every waking part of their day scared to death, worried about being prepped and ready for disasters. For what? Nothing. Because they're not going to be around to tell about it. Not to mention the fact that if they do possibly survive, where do you think everybody's going to go? They're going to leave the city and go out there. Like I said, if you're a prepper and you're afraid and you want to make sure you're not around for the zombie apocalypse or the nuclear war or all this other crap people are worried about, Montana. Sorry, Montana. I apologize to you guys in Montana greatly because I know you're going to get a flux of people there in Montana. Everybody's going to be flocking to Montana now because that's their safe haven. Montana's a safe haven. So those places up there, Wyoming, South, Montana, all that stuff up there, that's going to be safe. Now Washington, stay out of Washington, Seattle, all those places, yes, stay away from there. They're not good to be now. So, they're nice areas, but yeah, just Yeah, you don't want to go there. So Canada, nobody has a problem with Canada. Canada, they're yeah, Canada's probably that's probably one of the safer countries in the world because they don't, you know, they just okay, sorry, we'll we won't do it again. Yeah, so Canada, you're going to be safe in Canada. So and especially away from the big cities. You don't want to be in a big city. Outside, away from the big cities. So, I'm when I say away from, you're, that just that's where all the people are. You want to be away from the people. You want to be away from all that stuff. You want to go far out. So, and I know people too. They talk about leaving the country, thinking that other countries are not safe. I mean, there's so many countries that I've been hearing people talk about. I've been hearing people talk about going to Mexico. Mexico is horrible. As an American today, if you go right now to Mexico, the chances of your survival in Mexico are very slim if you drive into Mexico. Now, if you take a big ship into Mexico and you stay in the city where you port at on your cruise ship, or you fly into Mexico and you stay in the city where you flew into, you're most likely going to be okay and safe. You're safe where all the Americans are in the cities of Mexico. That's where you're safe, where everybody speaks English and everybody's American. When you go outside that city, you're a goner. You will be murdered and killed, and they're going to take your pencil. They don't care. They'll kill you for a pencil because they want your pencil. They're going to kill you for it. So Mexico is a horrible place. It is a very, very dangerous place. Mexico, you don't want to go to Mexico. Okay? So, I hear all these people and they're preppers, and I just don't understand. I don't get it. I've tried to get them to make me understand. Nothing they say makes sense to me. They're prepping for things that are out of their control. You're not going to prevent something from happening by doing what you're doing. You can build a compound, but if you're going to build a compound that's 100% self-sufficient, build it in northern Montana. Build it in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming. Build it in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, North Dakota. That's where you want to be. So that is where you're going to be safest in the United States of America. You're not going to be safe in Mexico because they're going to kill you down there. The people, that's the biggest thing. If you survive the nuclear explosion and then you survive some of the fallout, which you're not going to, then you're going to have to deal with the people killing you. They're going to kill each other. People are going to be crazy. I think the rapture will happen before that. God's going to come back and take everybody. Well, it'll probably go unnoticed. I really honestly believe if the rapture was to happen right this second, it would go unnoticed. People wouldn't notice because a lot of people think they're going to heaven and they're not right with God. They're too busy piling up, sleeping with their religion and focused on their religion. They can't see the Word of God, understand the Word of God. These crazy people stand on the corner telling you you're going to hell. They're going with you. So I'd say most of them, they're going with you because they're not right. Because if they read their Bible, they would see that they're in the wrong by a lot of the stuff they do. And I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about a majority of the people that I see out there doing crazy Christian stuff, as people want to call it, but I don't consider those people Christians. They're religious, and they're taking stuff out of context and adding stuff to it that is not supposed to be there. So anyways, just get right with God. That's all I can say. You can prep. People are so worried about these things. All these I forget what you call them. They're worried about the government's trying to kill us. The government's trying to kill us. One of my favorites. I'm gonna pick on this one here. I know tons of people out there. Chemtrails, chemtrails. Oh my gosh. There's jets flying all over the world they're spraying chemicals to kill us. The government's killing us, but chemtrails. Oh my gosh. So the stupid people believe this. Those are not. They're chemtrails. They're contrails. I think is what they're. The two get confusing. I'm sorry. Contrails, and then there's chemtrails. Chemtrails are chemicals, I think, and then contrails are condensation. So, but yeah, that's what. It's moisture. There is no chemtrail. They are not spraying chemicals. And I love the people who say, "Oh, look at the sky today. They're just spraying. They're killing us all." If that's the case, why are you not wearing a mask? A gas mask, a full-fledged gas mask 24 hours a day, because it's seeping in your home, gets in your car, it's in the air. They're killing us with all this stuff. Why are you not wearing a mask? Why is the government not wearing masks? Why is it that you see these people with the government out doing speeches, they're out in public, and they're not wearing masks? Do you not think, well, okay, let's back up real quick. I had a guy, I asked him this. He's convinced that the government's spraying, that every jet you see is spraying. That's first off, do you not think somebody would say something? Second of all, why aren't you wearing a mask? A gas mask. I'm not talking about a little stupid paper mask that doesn't do anything that everybody's wearing because, COVID. Anyways, so I'm talking about a full-fledged mask, face mask, big, huge mask, covers your face, your eyes, everything, and it keeps you from possibly getting those chemicals in you. So these people that are, not, that are convinced that they're trying to kill us are not wearing, gas masks. So they say, well, they're not spraying and they're not spraying where they're at. Seriously? Everywhere you go in this world, you're going to see a jet in the sky with white clouds behind it because it's called condensation. The heat from the jet engines is producing moisture, and that's what you're seeing. The cloud behind it is the moisture freezing as the heat is actually, it's like sweat. And do you know how cold it is up there? It is very cold. So very cold up there where those jets are flying. So that's what happens. The lower flying jets, you don't get that. If you look at planes on the ground that are the closer you are to the ground, the warmer it is. So you don't get that. The higher they are up, the more they produce those contrails. So, but yet, like I said, when's the last time you saw somebody wearing a gas mask? I'm sure somewhere I promise you somewhere you will see somebody with the gas mask on because they're crazy. There's crazy people everywhere. But nobody likes it. All these people, I know several people, I could name 10 people right now that are worried about the government killing us with this, airplanes and spraying chemicals. But none of them are taking precautions. You don't see, nobody is taking precautions. They're like, whatever. So it's like, give me a break. That's just, it cracks me up that these people aren't taking precautions. If, what if you're right? What if the government is trying to kill us? They're killing themselves too. I don't know. I find it kind of, wacky that they wouldn't, help themselves by putting on a gas mask. So, just saying, it doesn't make any sense. But everybody's paranoid. And I can tell you, everybody has the same one thing in common. Everybody has one thing in common with all this nonsense. none of them are Christians. None of them have God on their sides. And I know right now, somebody's out there, well, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. And I know the government's trying to kill us with chemtrails. You should probably wake up then. Because it's not true. So I'm going to explain something to you real quick too with the government. If the government wants to kill us, they're going to do it the easiest possible way. Like they did in Flint, Michigan. Now did they do that on purpose in Flint? Maybe they did. I don't know. They're going to get us through the water. That is going to be the easiest way to do it. They're not going to spray chemicals in the air. They're just going to put it in the water, and they could kill half the people in the world if they wanted to. All they have to do is go ahead and put it in the water. So they make up crazy stuff all the time, So like I said, if they want to kill you, so maybe you should stop drinking water. And so what are you going to do? Go get filtered water from the store? That'll have chemicals in it too. Just because it's filtered, still have poison in it. So I hope everybody doesn't stop drinking water because of this. Jeez, oh man, that'll be horrible and scary. We'll have a lot of dead people on our hands. But hey, the government, they'll say, hey, thanks, Ray. Everybody stopped drinking water and they died. We were going to poison it, but instead they stopped drinking it, so we're good to go. Haha. Anyways, just wake up, man. Wake up, America. Wake up, world. There's no reason to prep. There's not going to be a zombie apocalypse. How many? And it's like, I had my podcast on ghosts, talking about ghosts. People, well, ghosts are real. Ghosts are out there. I seen a ghost. Did you? What were you smoking? Because if ghosts were, do you know how many people have died since the beginning, since Adam and Eve? How many people have died? Billions and billions of people. There'd be ghosts everywhere. We couldn't walk through our house without bumping into 10 ghosts. Just in our house. I don't care where you live. Anywhere in this world. There'd be ghosts everywhere. And I'm not saying every once in a while. Period. There would be so many ghosts running around because billions of people have already died in this world. So they'd be everywhere. You know how many people has been on this earth since I'm telling you, there'd be lots of them. So it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. It does not happen that way. Read your Bible. So anyways, and I know right now too that I always get, you're going to get at least one person that says, well, the Bible does talk. Yeah. Does it talk about ghosts? It talks about the Holy Ghost. So it talks about people raising from the dead. In end times, in Revelations, I believe, it does speak about the dead walking the earth. But that's end times. That's, if you're a Christian, you won't be here to talk about that or see it. Because I don't think God will allow that to happen. I think that the rapture will happen, and then that is when hell on earth will be. So 7 years of horribleness. Nothing you can imagine. It's just going to be horrible. So anyways, that's my reality of today. I wanted to run real quick before I go. Like to do a shout out to Eckler Firearms. Eckler Firearms has everything. They have all kinds of stuff to choose from. They have from airsoft guns to rifles, hunting equipment. They have different things. They are available. Eckler Firearms. They are located out of South Carolina. That's their QR code for Eckler Firearms. And they yeah, that they have a neat website. If they don't have it on their website, you can contact them and see if they have it. They do. They have new and used stuff that they sell. Their used things will be actually they'll be getting more used stuff in. Right now, most I know pretty much everything they have is new. That's gonna be online, but working with them and stuff. But their point of view and my point of view are not the same. So don't hold anything against them. I support Eckler Firearms, and I well they support me, so they're we scratch each other's back. Say I don't know. Anyways, so but yeah, that's just just so you know. I just want to throw it out there, and I'd like to, if you could, I ask you to like and share, and that's my website, raisereality.com. You can check out my website, and so I also if you can, if you're able to, you can support me. I'd appreciate it very much so. It'd be a really, really awesome thing to be able to support me at Raise Reality. And that's QR code where you can go in and donate. And I'd really appreciate that to help keep me going, help me out. I help other people as well. I get some more information out there when you go on my website, or you go to donate there. You can check out that information. So yeah, I really appreciate everything, and I hope everybody's doing well. And you can contact me on my website, and if you if you need prayer, just anything. If you need, whatever, not anything, but if you need prayer, please feel free to reach out and just say, hey, I need prayer. If you're, if you can't get stuff on Eckler Firearms to come up, let me know. I can send you a link, email that, whatever. But you just look up online, you should be able to find it, no problems. Look at just, the QR code there will take you right to the website. So yeah, that's to help support him, and check out see what they got. So they, I know they got some new items. They got new items going in quite often actually. They're growing company. So see what happens with them. They are fresh and new. They just started in the past year, and but Jeff there, the owner, is a really good guy. He's also a gunsmith. He's actually still going to school for gunsmithing. He's trying to learn. He's got a lot of, I think he's going into a lot of specialty stuff. So, but anyways, like I said, check him out. And please feel free to share and like and let other people listen. It's the way it is. And not everybody's going to like, you might not like what I have to say or do. Somebody else might. Not everybody's going to agree with me. That's fine. But I like what I do, and I enjoy what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it. So I thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next show here very, very soon. And I thank you.